Page Stearns Production presents McCourt Mini-Biography by Caitlin Page and Isaiah Stearns, an interview with Mr. McCourt.
Frank McCourt was born in Brooklyn, New York on August 19, 1930, to two Irish Catholics. This picture depicts Frank's mother, Angela, holding him as a baby.
Frank was born in poverty where living conditions were unsanitary. Each child in his family had only one set of ragged clothes, patched shoes, and lacked a coat. The family lived on little more than bread and tea for most of his young life.
Out of 7 children, 3 had died in infancy or early childhood because of family circumstances. Frank McCourt himself nearly died of typhoid fever at a young age. The picture in this slide shows one of the many fever hospitals at the time.
Frank only attended grade school until the time he was 14 years of age. He did not attend high school or secondary school. School was only mandatory until you were 14. After the 8th grade, he was finished.
At age 13, one of Frank's teachers recommended him to the Congregation of Christian Brothers, but was rejected despite the recommendation. Frank then held odd jobs to support his family.
In Frank's mid-20s, he attended New York University and graduated in 1957 with a bachelor's degree in English. Later, he went to Brooklyn College and attained a master's degree.
Frank was drafted to the military in 1951 and sent to Bavaria, Germany during the Korean War. For 2 years, he initially trained dogs and then was a clerk. Upon his discharge from the Army, he returned to New York City.
Frank held his first job at 14 delivering telegrams. He delivered telegrams to the entire Limerick population for 2 years.
Once Frank reached adulthood and went to college, he became a teacher. He taught at 6 different New York schools, all in Manhattan.
Although Frank became a teacher, he had always had a passion to write ever since he was a small child. In 1996, he wrote Angela's Ashes, as shown in this picture. It won multiple awards, such as the Pulitzer Prize in 1997. This was a huge honor for Frank, who had written this book about his impoverished life.
Frank's family life was very complicated for him to deal with at a young age. His father, Malachi McCourt, was an alcoholic who spent the family's money all at the pubs. 3 of his siblings had died when Frank was young. He currently has 3 surviving brothers.
Frank McCourt was married multiple times, but the first 2 did not work out. His first marriage was to Alberta Small. They were married from 1961 to 1977. Then he married Cheryl Ford in 1984, and the relationship only lasted 1 year. In 1994, he married his current wife, Ellen Frey McCourt. He had 1 daughter by the name of Margaret with his first wife.
In his later years of life, Frank McCourt took up the casual sport of rowing, but he also continued to write.